of movies this month just does not stop. Last week, DC announced their lineup for their DC Cinematic Universe, and Marvel has just fought back with an Avengers Age of Ultron trailer and their lineup for Phase 3. You can go check out my reaction to Age of Ultron, plus my video on Age of Ultron in the description. But now, I have a special guest with me to talk about Marvel Phase 3. So here is our podcast on the Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 3. This is my good buddy Zinzan Crouch. Zinzan, do you want to tell the audience a bit about yourself?
I'm light-skinned, as you can see, and with a British accent. That's all you need to know, I guess.
Yeah, and he's a massive comic book geek.
As you can tell.
Yeah. So I was working the other day, and then I come home to find that Marvel has just announced all their Phase 3 movies. Big surprise. I mean, that plus the Avengers Age of Ultron trailer. You know, Marvel's just killing it, really.
I mean, they're the masters of the game right now. You know, DC and Fox are quite late. Yeah, you know, they're quite late to the game.
DC is definitely quite late to the party.
And you know, they really know how to play everything. You know, releasing the trailer right after DC released their slate.
Yeah.
And just with this new slate, I'm so excited. You know, so especially with that Black Panther movie coming in, that looks interesting.
Yeah. They've said now that Avengers Age of Ultron is not going to conclude Phase 2. Ant-Man is going to be the one that concludes Phase 2. Originally that was going to open Phase 3, but I guess they've changed it now.
So they might have they might not have a post-credit scene that will link to Phase 3 or
possibly, I don't know. We'll have to see the movie to find out.
Oh, okay, so that's interesting. That's the first time that's happened then. So with a solo movie. Okay.
Man, Ultron looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, trust man. James Spader is
his voice.
Everything I expected.
Yeah.
There are no strings on me.
Okay, so the first movie they announced that's coming after Avengers Age of Ultron to kick off Phase 3. This is actually my most hyped one of the whole slate. Is Captain America: Civil War.
Oh my god! As soon as we started talking about that, even before they announced it, I went to. I read up on the comics and stuff, and it just looks awesome, man. I just can't wait to adapt that story. And they're not going to have Spider-Man in it, obviously. But
there's a rumor they might have Spider-Man in it, but I don't know. When they announced this, they confirmed that Robert Downey Jr. is going to reprise his role as Iron Man. So it's pretty much going to be Iron Man versus Captain America. But I've got a feeling that they're going to have Black Panther in that, and he's going to be taking like the Spider-Man kind of role.
Yeah, that could work, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think if the Spider-Man thing was happening, they would have announced it at the Marvel thing.
Yeah, true. Like Kevin Feige was saying, that everything that happened now, it's anything that hasn't been announced at that press conference that they had, was it's not true or it's a rumor, So.
Yeah. This is actually quite an unpopular opinion, but I think Captain America is the best Avenger.
Yeah, he's badass, man.
Yeah, because everyone thought the first Avenger, like his first film wasn't that great, but then he wasn't their favorite Avenger either, but he blew everyone's mind with the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, the Winter Soldier was awesome.
Yeah, it's my favorite Phase 2 movie.
Yeah.
Sorry, Guardians of the Galaxy brothers.
I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy did surprise everybody.
That was awesome.
Surprise everybody. So
if it had a better villain, I probably would have liked it.
I can't wait for that. Infinity War. Massive crossover with Guardians and everything. So
yeah, Civil War. This is interesting because remember Captain America 3 was meant to come out on the same day as Batman v Superman.
Oh yeah.
And now this is pretty much like Captain America v Iron Man. So really now they're both Marvel and DC are changing up their game to have put their two main heroes against each other.
It's a dick measuring contest.
It's a dick measuring contest. You reckon Fox is going to do Wolverine versus Mr. Fantastic?
That would be terrible. Don't do that, Fox, please.
Oh my god. You can imagine Miles Teller going up against Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
He would just he'd bring Wolverine to Project X.
Yeah.
Civil War, that looks like it's going to be awesome. I have read the Civil War graphic novel, so I know that's a really big story in the Marvel Universe, and for them to adapt that after what they did with the Winter Soldier, the directors are returning, it's going to be like a political thriller again. I think it's going to be really awesome.
That director's returning, Russo's
yeah, I'm surprised. They're known for directing Community, and they delivered an amazing political thriller with The Winter Soldier. So I'm pretty excited for Civil War.
And they were actually pointing out, I don't want to get too into the media stuff, but they were saying, comic book movies shouldn't be, avoided by the Academy.
Oh that's a big thing. Yeah, Winter
really
Soldier could easily get nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay.
Not that it doesn't really matter, to be honest, but it would be cool just to get a nod.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, really, if you take superhero out of the equation, it's just a great movie.
And Kevin Feige doesn't even class them as comic book a genre.
It really isn't.
Class it as a genre. He's like, we want to make it, a bit comedic, a bit dramatic, and all this. Just add elements to it.
Yeah, I like how all the Marvel movies are like having different tones now.
Yeah.
Like Thor, it feels like a Lord of the Rings kind of thing. Although I wasn't that impressed with the Dark World, Malekith. Yeah.
I like the little. I don't know. Just like everything builds up. Like the little, the Infinity Gems are in there. So I think they have to. There has to be a movie that they kind of just throw at the audience a bit. Just like, oh, this is that, and just being a bit obvious. So
that's great.
But I'm definitely excited for everything coming up.
Yeah.
I mean, Ragnarok could step it up. That could be Captain. Thor's Winter Soldier.
Possibly, yeah. We'll get on to Thor Ragnarok in a bit. The next movie that they've announced is Doctor Strange. Now, we've known this is coming for a while, but they never attached an actor to it or anything. There was rumours that Benedict Cumberbatch is now going to play Doctor Strange. And
if that's true, that would be cool.
Yeah, I do think that would be good, but I did mention this in my DC podcast. Benedict Cumberbatch would be perfect to play Brainiac. There's no reason he can't play a good Doctor Strange. I don't have a problem with that, but I would have loved to have seen him as Brainiac.
But then again, I mean, I don't know. I think he's been a villain. He's been like two villains, man.
That's true.
I think it's time for him to be a bit. Sherlock's a bit of a conflicted character anyway. He's not really a.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's.
I wouldn't want him to Benedict Cumberbatch to be typecast, but you can't deny that he would make an amazing Brainiac.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just look at that picture. I mean, he looks exactly like Brainiac.
Yeah. But I don't know. Anything they want to do, I'm out for it. Like Marvel, I trust Marvel so much. It's like I've been such a movie nerd. Like they made me into a movie nerd, mate. Like just following those little Easter eggs, just like that Black Panther Easter egg in Iron Man 2, and just so many Easter eggs. I can't really. There's so many of them, but just everything just leads.
It leads to the next thing. It's all really been built in front of us. I cannot wait to see my Blu-ray collection, like in the future, when Marvel has done all their movies, and just be like, oh my god. And this all started with Iron Man.
Yeah.
So Marvel have done it extremely well. Doctor Strange, though, that's a really good thing for them to do. The story of Doctor Strange, he's a very complex character. It's a great redemption story. Like he's I know he's like a doctor who's really arrogant. Everything. I can see Benedict Cumberbatch pulling that off, but then he loses the use of his hands in an accident, and then he can't perform surgery anymore. So I think that's why he goes to learn magic, so he can learn that again. But he does become a better guy out of it from the Doctor Strange stories I've read. So I think that could be a really cool character, and introducing magic into the universe more, especially with Scarlet Witch in Avengers: Age of Ultron. I think that's a really that's a great way for them to bring magic into the universe.
And I heard someone say they're not sure if they should do an origin Doctor Strange. I think you need one because he's not.
It could be like the Incredible Hulk, where they just go over his origin and
But I guess I think they need one though, because mainstream audiences aren't aware.
If they did, I wouldn't mind. He has a great origin story.
Just like you telling me that about the arrogant Doctor, so it sounds interesting.
He's pretty much like Dumbledore meets House. It's pretty cool. That's how I see Doctor Strange.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that could be really cool. But I don't really know much about Doctor Strange's villains, except all I know is Baron Mordo and Dormammu. That's probably going to be the villains that they're going to go for.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. I think Doctor Strange it's a bit of a risk for Marvel, but they proved with Guardians of the Galaxy that they can pretty much make anything.
They can take
successful.
A million, $20 million bet or whatever.
Yeah. Speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, that's the next movie that'll be coming out. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, set for 2017. What did you think of Guardians of the Galaxy?
Blew my mind, man. All my friends are telling me they don't think, they're like, oh, should I really do that? Do I really need to watch the movie to, understand the Marvel Universe? Not really, but it's an amazing movie. It's such a, they took such a big risk with it. It paid off so much and such easy, amazing characters. So
it was the most fun of all the Marvel movies, I would say. A lot of people will say it's the best Marvel movie ever, but I don't think it's the best one.
I wouldn't say it either.
It's definitely one of the best, but I wouldn't say it's the best. My problem with it was that everything else about it was great, except for the bad guys. And you know me, I'm a big villain guy, so if you have a bad villain in a movie, I'm automatically
biggest Joker fan I've ever met.
Yes, I'm a huge Joker fan. But yeah, Guardians 2, apparently they're going to be focusing on Peter Quill looking for his dad. And I think what could be really cool is what his dad actually turns out to be the bad guy.
It's interesting, because there was just his dad was at the beginning, right? And that was it. We didn't see much of him in the movie.
I think there was just an Easter egg of him, but
that's so like when that not died or something. But anyway, yeah.
And there's definitely going to be some more Guardians shown in this one. I've actually heard a rumor that Jake Gyllenhaal wants to be in a Marvel movie. I think he would make a great Adam Warlock.
Crazy. You see the trailers? Oh, anyway.
For Nightcrawler.
Yeah,
I've heard that movie's awesome.
That's crazy. But yeah.
Go check out Nightcrawler if you've not read it. I've not seen it yet, but go check it out.
I haven't seen it either. It's like, but yeah, no, dude, Marvel. I just don't. Anything they do, I'll get behind it. I mean, if it's some whack actor, maybe. If some whack actor.
They proved they could cast any actor who worked. Chris Pratt. Who knew Chris Pratt before Guardians of the Galaxy, unless they were a Parks and Rec fan, or if they watched Zero Dark 30, I guess. But the Guardians paid off, so I reckon the sequel. There's no reason it should be bad. So hopefully they step it up a bit and give them Guardians a better villain to go up against. Which I think, if it is Peter Quill's dad, that could be a very interesting aspect to take on with it. I've got a bet.
I'm not aware of that, but
I've got a bet with Izzy that Thanos is going to turn out to be Star-Lord's dad.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't know. I could see it happening.
Cool, still.
Yeah, because I reckon if they did that, it would be very similar to Darth Vader and Luke.
Yeah. Do you think how was he even chosen? I know he was abducted, but how was he even?
I don't know.
Was he chosen? You think?
They don't really say that in the movie. They could address that in the sequel.
Yeah.
Well, that's just got me more excited for it then.
Yeah.
So yeah, Guardians. That's gonna be.
When they adopted him, I was like, that's kind of a one of in the mid. Things. So.
It kind of just happened.
Yeah.
So there's got to be some more explanation to that.
But I mean, I'll get into that one day.
The next movie that's going to be coming out is Thor Ragnarok. Now we've known that this is coming for a while. I mean, there's been like logo speculation and everything, and from what I know of the Ragnarok story, it's Thor going up against a cyborg duplicate of himself. Mm-hmm. And also there's the demon Surtur, who's somehow involved in the story. But I don't know if Enchantress and the Executioner are involved in it, and I really wanted to see them in a Thor movie.
It's interesting you mentioned the cyborg, because in the Civil War comics, you remember how Tony Stark built, a cyborg of Thor. So, I mean, a version of Thor, and
it could tie into Age of Ultron,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might link together, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I doubt it's going to be Ultron that builds him though. Maybe it's made from the same technology as Ultron, but I think it could tie into Age of Ultron. Yeah, that'd be really cool. And I think after Thor: The Dark World, it needs to be another epic Thor movie. I think they should just bring back Kenneth Branagh, because he killed it directing the first Thor movie.
Second director?
Alan Taylor from Game of Thrones. Oh. I thought that was going to make sure it was awesome, but everything about Thor: The Dark World is kind of similar to Guardians of the Galaxy. Everything about it was good, but except the villain.
Yeah.
The Malekith he wasn't memorable at all. So hopefully Ragnarok does get a Loki villain. Yeah, because it's all about Loki. Everyone loves Loki.
Like Loki gets a louder clap than Thor,
They should just call it Loki Ragnarok. I mean, he is ruling Asgard now, so maybe that's going to tie into it.
Yeah, I wonder how that all works out.
I want to know if Odin's dead.
Yeah, because I did hear that Anthony Hopkins said that he didn't want to do any more Marvel movies or something.
So it's possible that Odin has been killed off.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, it's interesting to speculate, but I guess we'll have to see.
But yeah, I loved the first Thor. Hopefully, this movie is more like the first one than it was the second one, just with a lot more Thor action. Maybe actually, it could be a redemption story for Loki. Like, how Thor was like a redemption story for him, but the Dark World really just focused on, it was really just Thor going after the Dark Elves.
Yeah.
So maybe Ragnarok could be a redemption story for Loki.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah.
That could be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And after Thor Ragnarok, we're finally getting a Black Panther movie.
Finally.
It's about time, right? And the guy they got to play Black Panther, that's a very good choice. Chadwick Boseman.
Great in 42, great in Get On Up.
Yeah.
What else do you want? He steals a show in every movie, man.
I'm really glad that they're doing a Black Panther movie. So, I'm excited for that. I wonder, who would they get to direct that?
I don't know.
Because I know Black Panther is in the jungle, technically. Like, he's the ruler of Wakanda. So I thought I know this is going to get some controversy, but I think Shane Black could do a good job with Black Panther. You remember Predator? That was in the jungle, and he does a good job of directing movies in the jungle.
Yeah.
So I guess that could work for a
But
Black
again,
Panther.
remember Wakanda is isn't it it's a very futuristic.
Yeah, it's like a futuristic version of Africa.
And they, I'm hearing, I watched the Avengers Age of Ultron trailer, and there's kind of people were saying that city that Captain America was fighting in, and the Hulkbuster was fighting is Wakanda. They think it's Wakanda, maybe.
There's also a rumor that the guy Andy Serkis plays in the trailer.
Claw, right?
He's Claw. Yeah. That could be really cool. I want to see Andy Serkis play a bad guy.
I'm surprised that they hinted that, because I saw it in Circle and I was like, cool, I wonder who he's playing. And then I watched this YouTube video, and they were saying that he could be his Claw, and I was like, oh shit, maybe.
He has the looks for Claw in that.
And in a trailer as well. I was surprised that they revealed that. But anyway, I mean,
it could just be an Easter egg. They might just want us to think that. I mean, Marvel did successfully trick us into thinking that the Mandarin was going to be a good villain.
Yeah. Bad choice. But he was alright. I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah, it was funny, but they just made a mockery of one of the greatest villains. Alright. But hopefully they learn from that and they don't do that again.
And then the vibranium thing,
Yeah, that's probably going to lead into it.
Go to Wakanda to get he needs vibranium. Because he's always evolving, isn't he?
Yeah, so that would work with Ultron.
Yeah. And maybe, I don't know, I guess this thought is conflicted, but Captain America's shield is broken. They might if they want to rebuild it, they might have to go to Wakanda as well. But I've heard that
could be a dream sequence.
Yeah. Because
I heard that too.
Did you see that? There was a clip of, there's Tony Stark and Captain America and Steve Rogers. They were having it out in that little wood cutting scene. Did you see that? Yeah. And they were talking about how Scarlet Witch kind of brings the bad out. Shows you your demons. So that could be a dream from Tony Stark.
That could lead into Civil War actually more. That could be really cool. But otherwise, I think it's long overdue. Black Panther. I think he is a guy who, based on the fan reception, he deserves his own movie. But I've never read a Black Panther comic, so I don't know that much about him. I'm probably going to.
I've read a bit. I've just read the origin story. That's it. But I mean, it's. I think it's interesting enough. I guess we're moving on to Miss Marvel, right?
We got next. Actually, we got Avengers: Infinity War Part 1. Now this Part 1, Part 2 shit. I thought that was only for young adult adaptations, but now they're doing it for this too. I think that's a good choice. Really, that's we probably know that Thanos is going to be the villain for this one.
I can't wait.
He's finally going to get the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
I actually think this could lead into Civil War a bit, because there's a rumor they're going to do the death of Captain America.
You think?
Yeah, I think that would be a really good story to adapt.
Yeah.
And then you can have Bucky or Falcon take over.
Alright, fair enough. But, jeez, man, you want to kill off...
He is my favourite Avenger, but as long as if you're going to kill a character off, I've mentioned this in my Age of Ultron video, you got to do it well. You can't make them just feel like they're killed off for no reason. And you've got to make sure that they stay dead. Because if you kill off a character and then just keep bringing it back, you're never going to feel like your characters are in danger. And I think that's one of the things that this universe needs to get if it wants to remain grounded. I mean, they are comic book movies, but this is not comic books. You can't have them come back to life all the time. Because, I didn't even read that Death of Wolverine comic because I know,
Yeah, I know Wolverine's going to come.
Yeah, he's obviously going to come
back. I don't know why
back.
they even killed him off, to be honest.
They even brought Phil Coulson back.
Yeah.
As a shield.
A mere mortal.
Oh, yeah.
But, who was it who killed him in the comic? Was it Punisher or was it that?
I don't know. I don't think Phil Coulson is in the comic.
I mean, who killed Captain America? Sorry.
I think it was Crossbones. Yeah.
All right. And he's
still alive at the end of Winter Soldier, so that could happen. Although if they are focusing on the Civil War, adding Crossbones into the mix could be a bit much.
Yeah.
Because the Civil War story is pretty big. And like I always said, Civil War, I've always thought it should be a whole phase, not just one movie.
Yeah. I'm actually glad they didn't bring Spider-Man into the mix because I think, Spider-Man takes a bullet for Captain America, doesn't he, in the Ultimate Comics when he dies. So that would have been painful.
Well, I don't know. Regarding the whole Spider-Man thing, I think it could happen because we've not heard anything else about the other Spider-Man movies.
To be honest, I was kind of hyped about it. When people were speculating about it, I was kind of like, this should happen. This should definitely happen. But I don't really mind if it happens or not because Civil War's already going to be...
If they are going to bring Spider-Man into it, though, I think they need to get Andrew Garfield because if they just end the Amazing Spider-Man series without even finishing up that story, that's just extremely lazy. mean, at least have the balls to finish the story before you reboot it.
Yeah.
And if you do reboot it, make it a TV show like The Flash.
As a TV show, yeah, could work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's what Daredevil's coming out, isn't it?
Yeah. I think that's going to lead to Civil War actually too as well.
They said it was linked as well.
Yeah, you got the Daredevil Netflix show. Yeah. That's not come up. There's no trailer or anything yet. We've only seen one picture of Charlie Cox in the costume.
That looks awesome.
He looks great. I've read Daredevil comics, so I know that's the Man Without Fear suit.
Yeah.
So that's going to be pretty cool. We've got in 2018 after Avengers: Infinity War 1, we've got Captain Marvel. Now I'll be honest with you, I really don't know much about Captain Marvel.
I tried to, when they announced, I tried to get some more info on it, but there's nothing online. That's all.
But this interests me because there's a rumor this is going to be Miss Marvel because she became Captain Marvel later in the comics. And I think that would be really great. If they took a risk with Guardians by making a thing that no one cares about, an even bigger risk would be making it something that no one really knows, but also the first female-led superhero movie. Well, it won't be at the time because, Wonder Woman's coming out in 2017. But if that's successful, I think Captain Marvel will be also great. I mean, Marvel proved that they can make anything successful. So, and from what I've heard about Carol Danvers as Miss Marvel, she's a really cool character. So
me too.
More than happy to see her in her own movie.
Yeah, same. I mean, all the feminists will be cheering. So.
Indeed, they will be. We love you, Emma Watson. Yeah, Captain Marvel, that could be really cool.
Yeah, no, true. Like, apparently we've seen her. Someone had said that.
Yeah, I heard that too. There could be like an Easter egg or something.
Yeah, in a movie or something.
Well, anyway. Next we got Inhumans in 2018 as well.
I know nothing about these.
Me neither. Yeah. Apparently that's they're kind of similar to the X-Men.
Oh, okay.
From what I know, there's this one guy called Black Bolt who's got the voice, like if he even speaks, he could level the city.
Yeah. Oh.
And I think that would be, I don't know, these could be interesting characters to explore. I reckon that's going to be that could be like the new Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. I've heard that Vin Diesel was teasing about it.
Yeah, I heard about that too. And he only CGI'd Groot, so he could play Black Bolt.
I could see that, definitely see that working.
Yeah. Well, I got to stay open-minded about that because Guardians of the Galaxy blew everyone's minds, so there's no reason for that Inhumans can't blow their minds. There's actually rumors that Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are going to be Inhumans since they can't call them mutants in this universe.
Oh, it's interesting.
That could be really cool. I think Scarlet Witch is going to be one of the characters you just don't forget about after Age of Ultron. I'm really excited to see her.
And Quicksilver, hopefully.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch is my favourite female Marvel character.
Yeah.
So when I heard that she was going to be in Age of Ultron, I was psyched.
No, both of them are awesome, man.
Yeah. And after Inhumans, we have Avengers: Infinity War Part 2. I'm assuming that's just going to... I don't know if... Is that going to be the final Marvel movie? Is it going to end the whole thing? I'm not sure.
I guess it would make sense, wouldn't it? But
it would, but, it would be bittersweet. 2019, let me think.
I'm going to see Thanos, blown.
Yeah. I'm going to be, 23 by the time that comes out.
Jeez. You still going to see Marvel movies?
Yes, I still will.
This is something I'm,
Yeah. Man, Marvel has just built a legacy. I think everyone's going to be going to see these movies because they've got Marvel printed on them. Guardians proved that. And, I don't know, Infinity War Part 2, I'm excited to see what they bring with Thanos.
Especially with the Inhumans and Miss Marvel maybe.
Yeah, they could come into it as well, and it could be everyone all going up against Thanos. Jeez, that would be... Poor Thanos.
Then again, he has got the Infinity Gems, so...
Oh yeah, Josh Brolin's voice as Thanos. You only saw it for a bit in Guardians, but he sounds so menacing. So yeah. So out of all of this, what would you say is your most hyped one?
Oh, I'd say both the Infinity War movies. I can't think. I don't know. That's going to be amazing. That's going to include so many characters. I wonder how they're going to do that. To be honest.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's Civil War. That's going to be my most hyped. And then after that, probably Doctor Strange, Black Panther, the Avengers: Infinity War, Guardians 2, Inhumans, Captain Marvel, and Thor Ragnarok, really, because I was a bit disappointed with the Dark World. Hopefully it brings me back, though. So yeah, Marvel Phase 3.
Ahead of the game.
Indeed. What do you guys think of this announcement? Leave us a comment below giving your most hyped Phase 3 announcement, and what do you guys think of the Marvel movies? Do you think they should end after Phase 3, or do you want to see a Phase 4 of Marvel? Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys next Friday. Bye.